I am updating to the latest version of Minecraft. So in this episode, we're gonna hydrate some Dried Ghast, nurture a Happy Ghast, and soar through as we go around chasing the skies. Oh, and I'm also finally gonna connect the roads and railways in my base. Keep watching for more. Hello everyone, my name is Shira and welcome back to another adventure in Minecraft. It's been a while since I've made an update to this game, but we're now at 1.21.7, the Chase the Skies update. Well, technically it was supposed to be 1.21.6, but I think they did a hotfix, so we're now at 7. And now that all of the mods that I use have also been updated to this version, I was finally able to update it. So in this episode, we're gonna go take a little break from making farms and go explore some of the new things added in this update. Not a lot of things were added in this update, but the most notable one is, of course, the Happy Ghast. You already know ghasts, these big floating guys in the nether being a nuisance whenever I'm doing something here. Who likes shooting fireballs in your face? Oh, what's this? A music disc. I forgot about that. At least now we got one of the 2 new music discs added in this update. So one more left to go. Anyway, the Happy Ghasts are a little bit different from these guys. So it's time to go looking for one. Is that a 100% drop rate? I didn't know that. Pretty cool. To get a Happy Ghast, first we need to go find a Dried Ghast, which are items that can spawn near a bone structure like those ones. But I need to find a soul sand valley that I haven't explored yet, so this place won't work. So I might need to fly very far away to find a newly generated soul sand valley, which might get frustrating. But luckily, there's another way to get them. So here we are back in my gold farm, which is still working great. I tend to go back here from time to time since I use it to repair all of my tools and armor. But anyway, the reason why we're here is because we can actually get Dried Ghasts from these guys over here. They've added it as one of the bartered items from piglins. So let's turn on the bartering system and wait until they give us some Dried Ghast. It's already been a couple of minutes, so let's see how many we got. And it looks like we got 10 Dried Ghast here. And we didn't need to travel very far to get this. And now that we have this, it's time to head back. Oh yeah, almost forgot. Another way to get some Dried Ghast is to craft them using soul sand and 8 ghast tears. So we can also get it that way. So yeah, it's very easy to get Dried Ghasts. So anyway, Dried Ghasts are placeable items. So I can just place them in the ground like so. And as you can see here, they look just like the ghasts in the nether, but only very small and very dried up. And I can even use them as decoration in my base. And it kinda looks like a stuffed toy. But of course, that's not the main point of this. What we can do with them is, if I do something like this, then place the Dried Ghast inside this, then submerge it in water, and now we have the advancement Stay Hydrated. What this does is that the water will slowly hydrate the Dried Ghast, as you can see from those particles over there. It's gonna take quite a while, so we'll have to wait this out. Oh, there it is. Here's our guy, a tiny baby ghast. So unlike regular ghasts, these are friendly and happy. It's still only a baby right now, so we'll just have to wait a bit for it to turn into an adult. Or I can use these snowballs to hasten their growth. Tying them to a lid like this makes it look like I'm holding a balloon with a mind of its own. Anyway, we need to wait a little bit more until they grow up into an adult. And there we go. We now have an adult Happy Ghast. And as you can see here, they look very much the same as the regular Ghast in the Nether. And the only difference is that these guys are smiling instead of frowning. So now the Happy Ghast will just continue flying around near our base. There's also another thing that these guys can do. So first I need to craft something. I forgot what it's called. Let me just check. Here we go. A harness. So I'm gonna need some wool, some glass, and leather. And now I can craft a blue harness. And using this harness, if we can get the Happy Ghast near us, go over here. Come here. Come here. There we go. Now the Ghast is wearing the harness. And what this does is, if I can get close to it, now if I can just get close to it, and now I'm riding the Happy Ghast. And with this new friend of ours, we now have a new way of transporting ourselves in my world. They're pretty slow though, but it's still pretty cool. The great thing about them is that if I press shift, I can actually stand on them and use them as a platform. And I also can fall here if I am holding shift. The best thing about this is, I can now place blocks while flying in midair just like in creative. So these guys are definitely going to be useful while I'm doing my builds. And that's the Happy Ghast. I don't really need to tie them up since they don't really wander that far from where they grew if I remember correctly. Hopefully, that's the case. Don't you dare go missing on me now. And of course, since he's gonna be a new friend of ours, we're gonna be naming him Casper, the Friendly Ghast. Next up, we will be testing the new functions of a lid. And speaking of the lid, you can now craft them using this recipe over here, using 5 strings. Before, you actually need slime balls to craft them, so they're a lot more easier to get now. Anyway, let's go find some mobs to test this. So here's a cow and a pig. So normally when you're using a lid to get some mobs, you can get them by just right-clicking them like this. Oh, and also, the lids look thicker now. And I think the next thing I can do here is, yeah, there. I can connect the 2 mobs using only 1 lid. And I think I can actually do this. Oh, no, that's wrong. Oh, okay, there we go. And of course, I can even attach more mobs than this. And with this method, it's gonna be a lot more easier to drag around multiple mobs if you want to lead them somewhere a bit far. Why the heck is there a frog here? Wait a minute, this is the frog I freed outside my base. The one I used to get tadpoles. Huh. Well, now that we're done with that, time to test out the boats. Boats can now be attached in lids, as you can see here, and I can even drag it around. This was actually added in an earlier update, but I haven't gotten around to use it. But because of this, moving around villagers became a lot more easier. And in the latest update, we can also attach the boats to Casper over here. We now have a hot air balloon in Minecraft. Well, not your regular hot air balloon because the balloon itself is alive. And instead of riding the basket, we're riding in the balloon itself. And now let's test something while riding Casper over here. And now we have our target over here. So what I want to do is that I want to capture the cow using the boat. while just flying towards it. I'm pretty sure this is how you do it. I haven't actually tested this, so let's try doing that. I can't really see anything with this view. Ah, there we go. We captured the cow. And now we can take this cow through the skies. And what happens if I do this? Get down here. Then here. Oh! Okay. Then Casper, get here. Get back here. And now let's fly away with all of the mobs down there. Well, the other cow got on the boat as well, but the pig is now dangling below it. So we can now do this to most mobs that you can use a lead to and easily transport them using our ghast. We're moving pretty slow though, but what can you do? And of course, we're gonna be finishing this demonstration by capturing one of the most in-demand mobs that people like to capture in this game. Kidnapping? Of course not. I'm actually saving them. They've been stuck on that cliff there. I've actually noticed them being stuck there for a long time now, so this is just my way of helping them. And that also concludes our test. So time to head back to our base. Very slowly. Well, at least we have a nice view of our iron factory right here. And now I've done pretty much everything new in this update. The only thing missing is another new music disc, which I'm not gonna be getting this episode. Because to get that music disc, you need to kill a chicken jockey. And they're a pretty rare spawn. So I'll get that eventually. By the way, if you're enjoying the video, click the like button and subscribe to see more of my videos. Thank you for the support. I've pretty much done everything new in this update, but I've still got a lot more time left for this video. So what I'm gonna be doing now is to do some cleanup around this place. I've been meaning to do this for a while now, but I got too busy doing all of the farms, so I guess this is the best time to do it. And the first thing I'm gonna be doing is to reorganize my storage. Well, my storage has actually been pretty organized since I've built it. I've always cleaned up all of my items whenever I finish with my projects, so I don't really have any cluttered shulker boxes anywhere around my world. But even with that, there's still a couple of unlabeled chests over here that are still full of random stuff that I haven't organized yet. And we also got a lot of empty chests here as well. So time for me to do a quick cleanup around my storage. Finally, all done. I've been wanting to do this since forever. And also, I added this. I have now labeled all of the item frames in my storage. I've pretty much done every single one here, so everything has now been properly labeled. And because of that, I've pretty much used all of the levels that I had with me. Anyway, we're now done with the storage system, so let's move on. The next thing I'm gonna be working on is this road here. I've started this road here when I completed my base a few episodes ago, and currently, the road ends here. So I want to finish this today. And by that, I mean I want to connect this road all the way up to my iron factory right over there. As to how I want to build the road, I don't want it to just go straight to this cliff here as it is very steep. I want it to go around the cliff here to find the slopes that can fit the path the road will be built on to make it feel like an actual roadway. So using this cobblestone that I have with me, I'm gonna map out the area where the road will go from here. So I'm gonna do that and be back in a bit. Okay, now I finished laying out all of the cobblestone for the road layout. It's pretty hard to see because of all the trees, but you can see the cobblestone over there that I've placed to indicate where the road will go. And just to show you, so the road will continue here going to the left, then makes its way through the forest. Then we're gonna turn right uphill into a slope, into this flat terrain where it will turn again to the left into this area here. Then it will go uphill again from here into a more greener area of the forest. Then of course more path going uphill. This one is a bit more steeper than before. Then a right turn up here and back to the podzoles. And then another turn here while keeping on the same level in the edge of this cliff here. The path continues here, but you can see this hole. So some terraforming will be done to fill this up. Then just go straight here. Then once we reach this area, another left turn uphill. And we're actually now out of the forest and almost into the meadows. Then once we reach this point, we just have to continue along this path and we'll reach the open area, and now we can see the iron factory in the distance. Now we just need to go straight to the fields. And now we have reached the iron factory. And here's an aerial view so you can see it more clearly. And I've also marked out here where the entire roadway I've shown you earlier is gonna be going. So that takes care of that. But before I get started on building the road itself, I also want to lay out the railway over here that will also connect to the iron factory as well. This one is gonna be a lot more simpler than the road since it's just gonna go in a straight line through here. I've actually planned this out way back before I even built my base and the iron factory. So the only thing left is to do the build itself. But before that, let's lay out the foundations first. And the foundation is done. And as I said, it just goes in a straight line. Well, I guess not that straight because it goes diagonally here. Then at the end here, you can see that it just ends above here. I actually built this one a little bit too low, so I'm gonna have to rebuild this later. But anyhow, it's not gonna be long now before I get to ride the minecart from here to there. Anyway, the layout is done, both for the road and the railway. All that's left to do is to finish building the entire thing. There's also gonna be a couple of terraforming that needs to be done to make everything look natural once it's all built. So it's gonna be a pretty big project again. But hey, that's what I enjoy doing in this game. So without further ado, time to finally connect the Oceanside Facility to the iron factory. Let's get building. there it is. The road and railway from the Oceanside Facility to the iron factory has finally been connected. This took me about 8 hours to complete the entire thing, and that doesn't even include the planning bits. But at least it's done, and I'm very happy with the result. You've already seen the whole path of the road from the cinematic shot I've shown you earlier, and this is it from up above. I've also done a little bit terraforming in the area, where I just closed a bunch of random holes here and there, and then I also planted some additional trees to fill up some space. And I also did this little pond over there right by the road. There was actually already some water over here, so I just made the water higher and cleaned it up a little bit. This was also the spot where I wanted the frogs to chill out, but now they're way up there in the meadows. Oh well. Then here's the railway for the minecart. I've also removed the glass covering this area. I had a thought and decided to just leave the railway open to the skies. It's high enough that mobs won't be able to get here, so covering it with glass shouldn't be required. Plus, using glass is very expensive if I went with that decision, so I'm just gonna leave the glass to the underwater section of the railway. And of course, let's ride out our newly constructed railway to see how long it will take for us from our base to the iron factory. So I'm gonna place a timer somewhere on the screen. Let's get on the minecart and off we go. This is the fastest we can go using regular means, so nothing more I can do about it. And the view is really nice here. Not adding glass was actually not a bad idea. And we're almost at the end here. And there, we have arrived. And it took 38 seconds to get here, which is a pretty decent time. Flying here with an elytra is faster, but this is still fun to do. Now let's head back. And if you've also noticed, there's a crossroad over here, and also one somewhere over there. These are for future road projects that will connect to my other builds that will go in that direction. But of course, it's gonna be a while before I can do any of that. There's also this huge hole here, which is just right in front of my base. And this hole is actually the entrance to the cave system that I used in my early days. So I kinda want to keep this here as a memory. But I might do a little bit more cleanup here to make it look a little bit better, which I'm gonna be doing for another day, since I don't really have any more time for this episode. And so let's play this new music disc before I leave you all for today. We've explored all the things in the new update, especially our new friend over here, and also finished all of this. I also got into the mood of building again because of this. Maybe I should do another building episode next time. We'll see. Anyway, if you enjoyed the episode and want to see more, click the like and subscribe button. I appreciate the support. We'll continue on our next adventure next time. I'll see you when I see you.